team, and that's for real. Oh, you said something? When they kick off, he gon' kneel. I don't wanna hear none if it ain't about the bills. We'll be running out the tunnel, better stay up on your heels. We might leave your ankles on the field, put you on the rail. How you feel? Feel the watch the sweep just like a broom. Hail Mary, and put his GM in a tomb. Make some room, call it time out, cause they not ready. Think they feeling all the pressure, cause they know I apply it heavy. Try to cover one-on-one, my cuss gon' be too deadly. Have him watching all that film while he's snuggling on his teddy. Man, who let me step
Bet
up in the
online
game with a mindset of making sure I'm heard and point attended.
all
It
your
ain't
favorite
time
sports
yet.
contests
When
and
it is, I
events
bet you
with
know
first
the
to
official
market
laser
odds
come
and
around
lines.
me. If
Find
you
reviews
acting all
and
scary
news
in the
for
snow,
every
oh, you
week
said
in Major
so.
League Baseball,
Tell your homie
NFL,
better
NBA,
chill. He don't
NHL,
ride, how we
combat
ride
sports,
for our team, and
esports,
that's for
and
real.
even
Oh, you said so.
Bet Online
When they kick off,
be the
he
top
gon' kneel.
online
I
resource
don't wanna
for
hear
all sports
none,
information
nigga, ain't
from live
about the
in-game
bills.
betting
Oh, you
props
said
and
so.
futures.
Tell your
Head to
homie
Bet
better
Online
chill. He
today
don't ride.
or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Now use our promo code BLEAV50 to receive your 50%. Welcome your bonus on your first deposit. Now Bet Online is where the game starts.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of BLEAV and Bills podcast. We are here to preview Buffalo Bills versus Los Angeles Chargers today. I am Justice General Radford, and over here with me is the legend, 2 games, championship coach, Muki Hawkins. What's going on, Mook? How you feeling today, baby? It's game day, man.
It's game day Saturday, so yeah, I guess everybody's anxiety, can't wait for 8:00. You know what I mean? So everybody's out during the holidays doing their Christmas shopping, and then so when they hit the crib, turn the TV on, it's game time. So yeah, it's good Saturday.
For sure. I'm not mad at a Saturday game. If you get the dub out the way, you get to enjoy Sunday football, you get to enjoy Monday football. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta worry about the anxiety of what your team gonna do. But Buffalo Bills have it's the National Football League. All these men are getting paid. The Buffalo Bills particularly cannot afford a loss anyway, especially not one in the conference, especially not one to someone who are the ones who are reeling as badly as the Los Angeles Chargers. It's it's not one you can afford to throw away here. But we are going against the Chargers. Quarterback Easton Stick. Apologize, I don't know what their interim head coach's name is, but they just fired Brendan Staley. There will be no Keenan Allen. There was somebody else who won't be playing. I forgot who, but no Justin Herbert. What are some of the things that the Bills have to look out for, for a sneak attack from them?
Well, they just have to go over they just got to match the intensity. Obviously it's a new coach, so that's going to provide a spark. So, some guys are going to play up, going to be up for this type of game. Obviously, the Bills are one of the top teams in the NFL, even though their record doesn't show for it, but they're still going to get a team's best just because who is the quarterback, just because the sustained success that this team has had, over the past, 5 years. So they're going to get, the Chargers' best no matter who's out there. I mean, they still have a guy like Khalil Mack who could, change the outcome of a game, by himself. So they do have some guns. They still have Austin Eckler out there. Keenan Allen won't play. So, you're missing your top pass catcher. You're missing your number 1 receiver. The Bills need to come out here and, this is the game where they really put it all together. This is the game where you should see Josh has 300 yards passing with James Cook over 100 yards. This is where you want to see, that great balance of, what they are right now, which is, a Super Bowl contending team. I mean, this team is beyond playoff team. We all know that. Stats don't lie to show that. And we know why, this team record is what it is in some aspect of it. But this is the game. You can't have a game like you just had against the Dallas Cowboys and then all of a sudden you in a dogfight with a depleted, Chargers team The best thing they do got smoking for them is, the coaching change. So, maybe some guys want to ride because of that, but they still ain't going to have enough weapons of firepower to even compete with the Bills, I feel. So this is the game. If they can put 31 points up against the Dallas Cowboy team, they can do that against anybody in the NFL. Chargers are no exception to that rule. So as long as they continue to have that same mindset and play like their backs is against the wall, and hell, the Chargers are top dog, they have that type of mentality, then yeah, they should go out there and dominate and, let football take care of itself.
Yeah, you should be able to. And one thing that I've been kind of talking about is you look at the Buffalo Bills and you say things like, oh, we can't trust them. They're a little sporadic. They have weeks where they could drop 50, right? They could drop 48 and hold the most explosive offense in the league, which is the Miami Dolphins, to 28 points, right? Or you could go out there and not score even 20 points, right? With the Buffalo Bills, we've seen both things happen. We've seen two totally different teams, what they look like this season. But my thing is, right, we haven't seen that from Brady's Buffalo Bills, right? From the Buffalo Bills offense since Brady has been the coach, they have been extremely consistent. I would say the only time they haven't been consistent was that third quarter against the Chiefs where they just stopped running. That was the only time where I saw a lapse in judgment from Joe Brady, and that we still ended up getting that W because he took 5-6 minutes off the clock in the fourth quarter by running the ball. You know what I mean? So more complementary football is being played. Now, you got a team like Los Angeles who just is coming off of getting absolutely blown off the doors, right? Their coach has been fired, and at home. So these are all boosts that, could motivate a team, and then to be playing the best team or one of the hottest teams in the league, that could be something that motivates them to play their best, because a lot of they look like they gave up last week. They really did. So what type of Chargers team do you think we're going to see coming out today? Do you think it's going to be the motivated team that's trying to take down Buffalo Bills, or do you think the team is mailing it in, trying to get a draft pick and, pick up the pieces?
This is the Chargers Super Bowl. That's what this game is right here. If they beat the Bills, then this is their Super Bowl. All right, they wanted to let's spoil somebody else's fun season because our season is in the trash. So they want to put somebody with them. So they're gonna be riding high for their coaches. They're gonna go out there and play. They're at home, so anything can happen. When a team is at home, but anything can also happen when the team's back is against the wall. So something definitely is going to give today. I think more or less this Bills team, with their backs up against the wall on the road, is going to supersede what's has happened out there in Chargers. So I still think they're not going to have enough weapons to produce. I mean, yeah, Keenan Allen, they got some players, but I just don't see it. Like once you go out and you dominate and play against the best teams in the league, it's just no reason, absolutely no reason that this game should be close. You know what I mean? I mean, let's be realistic. Just being honest here. This game shouldn't be close, right? They 12.5-point favorites, 13.5-point favorites. This is where this Bills team need to act like that. This is when they need to show the league that they are like that. All right. So Josh Allen should have 300 yards. James Cook should have over 100 yards today. This is where they need to put it together. When the team is down like this, they did fire their coach, and so they're going to be, the juices is going to be flowing. But at the end of the day, the Bills just need to go ahead and show them who they are and jump out on them early. And, after that, I don't think Easton Stick is going to be able to, pull that off. And if he do, all that stuff just circles back all over again on coach, right? So I don't think that's going to happen. I think, a lot of these guys understand the assignment this year and what's going to happen, once this season comes to an end. So, guys is going to go out there and land on the line, but Coach McDermott is doing a good job in making sure he manages that. So go with your hot guys, but he's making sure that the ones that he can remain healthy for the down the stretch. He's doing that. Maybe that's why you probably haven't seen Leonard Fournette surface yet. That's why Jordan Phillips was put on IR. You got Daquan Jones coming back. At some point. So when you have quality depth, you can afford to do those type of things. And the Bills have been in the thick of things because of that. They lost their guys early in the season. So that's hard to replace and still maintain a level of competitiveness. In the professional football league, right? So, hey, they still in the thick of things. The guys are gelling at the right time. Offense is following suit and finally joining the party. And hopefully it continues. If it continues, then it's going to be one hell of a ride.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of weeks ago, McDermott consensusly was going to be losing his job. After the Denver loss, there was a lot of people, calling for his job. He fires Ken Dorsey. Joe Brady comes in. Then we get the Eagles loss. I believe it was. No, we beat the Jets. Then we get the Eagles loss. People calling for his job again. And then we get the bye week. We come back. We beat KC. Okay. All right. Good team win, right? And you come back and you absolutely annihilate the Cowboys. So everything kind of changed for McDermott. And I think it's all based on his new cologne that he's been wearing, which is called Winning. Because that has changed everything for him and the narrative around his team. You look at, like I said, a couple of weeks ago, they were like the 11th place in the AFC. People were like, oh, the bipolar Bills, you don't know what Bills team you're going to see, da, 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 da. Now, people who pay attention closely can pretty much see that, hey, the Buffalo Bills are a brand new team. This isn't, I don't even consider them the same team. I call it BB, which is before Brady. That wasn't the same team to me, right? And then it kind of seems like things are rolling in the Bills' favor a little bit here deep in the season, right? The Chiefs don't look great. The Ravens have to play maybe the best team in the league today, right? The Dolphins have two massive games coming up, and then a game versus us in week 18, which could decide the division if they slip up either one of these games versus the Cowboys or the Ravens. So there's a lot of opportunity for the Buffalo Bills to make the playoffs here. You look at the teams ahead of them in the playoff standings, right? Cleveland Browns don't have a quarterback. They have 9 wins, but I don't think they'll get to 11, right? Cincinnati Bengals don't have a quarterback. Indianapolis Colts don't have their quarterback. Houston Texans don't have their quarterback. I mean, the Bills slipped up in the middle of the season. They didn't play well. I say Dorsey unknowingly sabotaged them a little bit. It probably just wasn't ready for the situation. But whatever the situation was, we're in it now. We dug ourselves, we made our bed. We got to sleep in it. But here in these last 3 weeks, there's an opportunity for a massive shift here in the AFC. So I want to ask you, Coach, what is the more likely scenario for Buffalo to make the playoffs here? Is it Miami losing to the Ravens or the Cowboys and then the Bills and you get to host a playoff game? Or do you think they sneak past one or two of these AFC wildcard teams?
I don't know. I think Miami, if Miami lose one out of the two and the Bills win out, the Bills become a 2 seed. And Miami goes to a 6 seed.
Well, it would depend. The Chiefs would need to lose a game. And actually, the Jaguars would need to as well because they have the head-to-head victory over us.
Yeah. No, I did. I'm on playoff simulator, and I did something where the Bills was 2 seed. They play Cincinnati, and Miami plays Kansas City.
Miami would inevitably go to the 5 seed, and yeah, because if KC lost another game, they would come down to 9-6.
Jacksonville plays Cleveland, I think, like that, and Baltimore had a bye. So, yeah, hey.
Oh, you had the Chiefs at the 4 seed then. So you think an AFC South team, whether it be the Colts, Texans, or the Jaguars, finish ahead of Chiefs? Because if the Dolphins lose 2 of the last 3 games, they still end up being the 5 seed, if nothing else.
Yeah, they're going to either be 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But be honest, hey, I don't see them winning the game at all the rest of the season.
The Dolphins?
I don't.
That is not a
strong
wild
possibility.
That's not a wild scenario.
It's a strong possibility that can happen. They got the toughest remaining schedule, so they have not beat an opponent over 500 yet. And I'm not about to just reinvent that wheel right now.
Yeah, you're facing
especially
2 of the top 3 most talented quarterbacks maybe ever, and then also the Cowboys, who are America's darling, America's team, the media's darlings for sure.
We're gonna see how they respond. I'm glad the Bills punched them in the mouth so they can go out and play their asses off. Tomorrow versus the Dolphins. We only need 1, but if we can get 2, then hey, Bills are definitely in the great driver's seat and go ahead and close this thing out. So it can happen. Football gods has been on our side, the past couple of weeks. Hopefully they could continue to, look over Bills Mafia.
So you let's get back to the Bills game, right? You take a look at the Chargers defense, which was his I don't want to say historically, short term, more so historically. They've had a good defense. They've had a lot of big names, your Bosa's, your Max, your JC Jackson's, Derwin James. Like, they got guys all over the football field. This season, not so much. You haven't really heard too much about them and their defense and how good they could be, which kind of says a lot to me. And I think that is, in essence, the reason that Staley was let go, right? But what is the best game plan for the Buffalo Bills today? Would it be, do you want to get Josh Allen, in rhythm and get him prepared for the playoffs and get him 25 to 30 attempts? If not, well, I would say 30 to 35 is more Josh's speed really on any given game. Get him running out there and get the ball in his hands so that he can, maybe bolster his odds for the MVP if you finish the season the way you want to. Or are you looking to keep James Cook hot, because that boy is grease fire right now? He's hot. And he looks like, he looked like the second best running back in the NFL right now. He's second in yards, I believe. He's second in receiving yards. And then him and Christian McCaffrey are probably the 2 best receiving backs in the NFL, if the last couple of weeks have anything to say about it. Granted, James Cook does have 2 really, really bad drops. Both of those go for touchdowns. And his numbers look even gaudier if he does have those 2 catches. But what say you? What is Joe Brady's game plan going to look like today?
What do you think I'm going to say? He's always been the X factor. When he wasn't the X factor, who I was saying was the X factor?
Let James Cook.
Gotta let James cook. Let James cook, and then guess what? It's bombs over Baghdad today, Josh. We're gonna let James cook, then we're gonna play action, and we're gonna see Diggs down the field. That's what's gonna happen today. Big splash plays, play action, nice wild plays off James Cook. Today. So again, got to give you that good combination of run and pass at its highest rarity today. All right, that's what needs to be. That's what Bills fans probably want to see today. Put it all together now, and let Josh get his numbers, and let Cook get his numbers. Defense go out there and do what they've been doing, getting after the quarterback now. Because once you are behind, then hey, you got to be able to, throw to get back in the game. So pass rushers should be fresh and ready to go, to get the quarterback down. So I think the Bills jump out on them, early. Just pick up where they left off, run the ball with James Cook. Just figure out what they're going to do defensively, because it's been a coaching change. So you're not sure how much that whatever you have on tape that you're going to see necessarily today. What's going to be the new tweaks and wrinkles of, this new defense, because obviously Staley was the defensive-minded guy. He's not there now. So maybe the new guy is going to tweak something within the scheme, that's been lacking. And, so that's going to be some things that, Coach Brady and Josh is going to have to adjust in game, so they get a feel of, what San Diego's is trying to do. But a good way to figure that out is just run the damn football, Go hat on a hat Deion Dawkins is having an All-Pro year, not a Pro Bowl year, an All-Pro year. Um, shit. Osiris Torrance is having a Pro Bowl year as a rookie. All right, so let those guys, eat a little bit. Let those guys eat. Let those guys have a little fun, especially, down the stretch. It is inside the dome, so I'm quite sure Josh gonna have some fun today. So get some good balance. James Cook over 100 on the ground. Josh, damn near close to 300, and 3 touchdowns. Treat your Chargers how they really supposed to be treated at this point, especially when you out here dominating top players. And they're top 5 in the power ranking, but they're 9th in the AFC. You know what I mean? So, that's why is that? So hopefully the top 5 Bills team will show up today versus the Chargers.
Yeah,
period.
Absolutely. I do, like I said, I consider these two totally different teams, and I do consider Ken Dorsey, like I said, the saboteur, if you will. 6 straight games with not over 21 points or something like that, I believe the stat was, which is absolutely inexcusable when you got 17 under center. It kind of just shows that maybe you're not ready to be offensive coordinator. I think he's talent. I certainly think he has the ability. I just think he needs to learn how to manage game flow a little bit better. He's certainly creative. I've seen his concepts in the preseason last year. I was super excited because he was having people wide open all over the field. He started off hot and kind of just had some lulls, but that's neither here nor there. We have a guy who seems to be able to put it together, and I think that the top 5 in power ranking is more so who the Bills are as opposed to the number 9 in the AFC rankings, because this isn't the same team that lost all those games previously. This is a totally new mindset for the Bills. I remember before the Broncos game, Josh, his pre-game routine, he was like, all right, fellas, no matter how it looks, no matter what, let's just go out there and win. And I was just like, that's not the Josh that we know.
What do?
Yeah, that's not the Josh is out here. Remember who was it?
Look.
We beat somebody. We blew them out bad. And then Stephon Diggs get on like, yeah, my quarterback don't like to leave no meat on the bone. That's the Josh we know. You know what I'm saying? No, leave no meat on the bone. Take their souls. You know what I mean? But to your point, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, no matter how it looks. That's what he said, though. That's what he said, General.
That's what Diggs said. He said my quarterback don't like to leave no meat on the bone. I'm just saying.
I'm talking about Josh, what he said.
Oh no, I will send you the clip. I wish I had it. He was like, no matter what, no matter how it looks, let's just go get this W. We play the Broncos. No matter how it looks,
the Broncos.
You better blow them out, bro. That's the mentality you need to be going into that game with. But it's just I think that Ken Dorsey literally just shattered the morale of the offense.
That's just letting you know. If he can say that, if he says that before you go on in the set of the battle, you know something ain't right. The whole team knows something ain't right. If the quarterback is saying that, bro, right? No matter how it looks. What do you mean by no matter how it looks, Josh? What do you mean? Is that on the offensive side, on the defense side? How I was looking? When we go out there, we don't know how it was looking. That's how you know it was a problem. So, hopefully the Bills, I'm quite sure they rectified that problem the way they've been playing since that game. And, they just got to continue. Just continue to have all gas, no break. I'm in the car, man, like the Flintstones. Soon as you get in there, that's all I want to hear. Ain't no breaks to it. It's all gas, no breaks next 3 weeks. And, Bills will be probably a 2 seed and Super Bowl favorite, and Josh should get the MVP, and Deion Dawkins be a all pro Snow. Life is good all over again.
Speaking of Deion Dawkins, right? You take a look at what using James Cook in this run game. Not even just James Cook, because I know you would rather give his carries to James Cook. Ty Johnson looks great. Latavius Murray looks great, and it's almost like I want to see what Leonard Fournette would look like. But I don't even want to take a chance because, if Leonard Fournette comes in and doesn't look good, then you've just essentially taken away carries from somebody who was doing fantastic. So it's kind of like, all right, well, if Leonard Fournette comes in and does fantastic, then that's another thing. But you take a look at the offensive line, Spencer Brown had nearly a 93 PFF rating. Spencer Brown, right? In run blocking, right? So you're now unlocking a 6'8", 300-pound Goliath of a man to be able to go run at people's necks, right? Why did you draft Osiris Torrance out of Florida or Georgia? Florida. Because he is a massive man and he can go out there and push people around. Why did you bring in Connor McGovern, right? Because he's a massive man and go out there and push people around. What's Mitch Morris's forte, right? Before he got here, he liked to push people around and get out and block and pull. Like, these guys look good. Eric Cromer has got the offensive line looking amazing. They're all pulling. Like, we even are completing screens now, which is insane because like the last 4 or 5 years, we couldn't complete a screen to save our lives, right? Now, I do want to ask you about something. Before, this whole draft process, right, there's a Chargers wide receiver who was on our board, okay? And his name is Quentin Johnston. Now, buddy ain't looking hot, right? Buddy ain't looking hot, right? But, we talked about it, and we kind of sort of wanted Quentin Johnston, Dalton Kincaid versus Quentin Johnston. Are you happy with who we got, or do you think that Quentin Johnston's just having a bad year and he might still be special?
I'm happy with what we have. I got the best receiver in the draft. He's just so happened to play a tight end. So, I mean, I wasn't mad at that pick at all. I'm just looking at, hey, you got Dawson Knox, you're paying him $15 million a year. Would they go get a tight end that high to make their 12 personnel thing work? So they did. And Dorsey couldn't make it work still. So that's one of the reasons why he's not around. But yeah, that was a good pick. That was definitely a good pick. It definitely is going to help. This team has balance. Once Dalton Kincaid, especially after this season with Knox next year, with Brady back at the helm, with the way this run game is as thriving, when he really sits down and install that 12 personnel, that play action is going to be something else, off that run game, man. So you never know. I think as far as the Leonard Fournette situation, he at least should be able to play against the Patriots game. I need to see what Leonard Fournette could do. I just can't have him in practice. Like, I'm treating this guy, like he's just a scout player. This is Leonard Fournette we talking about, man. You know what I mean? This is Leonard Fournette we're talking about. We're talking a Super Bowl champion. We're talking top 5 draft pick. He's only 28 years old. You know what I mean? So I don't want to hear that he's washed up or whatever. The New England game should let me know. I got to see how he's going to look, in the Bills uniform before playoffs begin. So, because I got to go with my playoff lineup. I just can't, I got to go with my best guys in this playoff. I need to see what Leonard could do. I just can't just.
I mean, he's a former top five pick, right? So if you give him this current offensive line, you give him this current run scheme, and you give him the current efficiency that offensive line has had blocking, right? If he runs as hard as he's capable of and he reaches his potential, and you essentially could possibly have 2 superstar running backs in the backfield.
Right. You can, because everybody's on a 1-year deal except for James Cook. Everybody.
Yeah, no.
So if they don't bring one of those guys back, then my guess is they're going to go and draft one, and I have one if they go look that way. They need a big back, and there is one in the draft. We could talk about that at a later time, but I wouldn't be opposed to any of those guys coming back, though. Ty Johnson, obviously Murray is 33 years old, so this is one of those Super Bowl.
We appreciate what you're doing for us this season, bro.
Yeah, I bring Leonard Fournette back if he wants to come back, But yeah, they're going to have to make a decision at some point with any one of these running backs. James Cook is here. He's under contract for 2 more seasons with a 5th-year option, obviously, where they don't even have to exercise that. So they didn't want to extend him, before that, because he's a second-round draft pick, so he don't get the 5th-year exercise. So throw spag at him right now. Stretch it out. So. I do want to see Leonard Fournette, though. I want to see him in this, the way if Ty Johnson is getting, no disrespect to Ty Johnson, if he's getting 7 yards of carry and stuff like that, Leonard Fournette should be able to do the same thing. I would hope. At 28 years old, I'm quite sure that the Bills is just really trying to get him in tip-top shape, and that's why you really haven't seen him. But by New England, I should know because he can be a spark for us. For the Miami game. You never know. This is Leonard Fournette we're talking about. With him out there on the field, he is a threat. So if you have a Leonard Fournette out there, what does it say? We just go 21 personnel for the sake of it. In the shotgun, Leonard Fournette, James Cook, Josh Allen. You go Kincaid as your slot with Diggs and Gabe out there.
Or Dawson.
No, I'm just going with that. That's if I'm going 2 backs in a gun. I'm going 21 personnel.
All right, let me ask you this. With Dawson Knox back, mix that with Dalton Kincaid, Stephon Diggs, and Khalil Shakir, Gabe Davis. Would you consider maybe using weekly, like an extra roster spot, kind of taking away a wide receiver because you do have Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, who, are basically thick receivers, right? Would you put a 4th running back on a roster and kind of see like who gives me the most production?
Yeah, it's a possibility you can do that. How to finagle and juggle the roster to get that look, they can possibly do that. I mean, Reggie Gillum is, on the roster as well. So, special teams play a pivotal role with that too. So it's not like that, if Leonard Fournette is not playing no specials unless he's on the kickoff team. So,
Ty might.
Yeah. So Ty's been on special teams. Ty has return kicks. So if you do go with 4 or 5 running backs, because you do got Reggie Gillum. So yeah, that's I think. So that's why I asked the question when Ty Johnson got a little nicked up, what we see Fournette, but it wasn't that I guess that wasn't that bad of an injury where, they were like, okay, you could just chill this week and we'll bring Fournette up. Maybe this week that'll happen though. This is that week. It's at home. You play New England, especially if the Bills go out here and take care of business today. It's New England, so you definitely want to punch New England in the mouth for what they did earlier in the season. So Bills Mafia go nuts if Leonard Fournette was playing in the Bills uniform the last home game of the season. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's all. Bills Mafia just want to see Leonard Fournette in a Bills uniform. Can we see it? It's impossible. To see Leonard Fournette come out in that 5 in a Bills uniform. Can we see it, Coach? Damn. Well, when are we going to see it? Remember he did that, with when they had Freeman and they had Steels. We had him on the roster, when the Bills lost in Houston in the wild card game. Didn't play him. Didn't play him at all. Like, why did we bring these guys if we're not going to play them? These are super bona fide weapons we didn't even use in that game. They wasn't even active. They were just on a practice squad for weeks. I hope we don't do that with Leonard Fournette. That's disrespectful, man. If they do that, not just one time, we got to be able to see Fournette, man. Hopefully we'll see him this week. But Bills got to get the job done. So, they got to get the job done, man. They got to get the job done.
So far, it's looking like they might use him like that. I hope not. I do want to see what he has left in the tank, especially while our rush attack is playing so well. All right. So, what is the Chargers' plan of attack and vice versa, like on the offensive side of the ball for the Chargers, defensive side of the ball for us, right? You would imagine Easton Stick is the quarterback. You got Austin Eckler at running back, who is one of the best running backs in the league. One of the better running backs of this generation, to be fair, right? So you would imagine filling the box a little bit, 8, 9 guys in the box. But we also know that the Buffalo Bills don't like to allow anything over the top. So what do you think the game plan will be for McDermott's defense going into this game?
Well, you got to be aggressive. You got to play Easton Stick the same way you played Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? Like, you got to play them that way. I don't back off or whatever the case. You got to apply pressure to Eastern State. These guys are backups. You have to treat them as such. You have to treat them as such. You got to go and play aggressive. I think Downton is caught on, and they're finally playing him to his strong suits. That's why you're seeing him making more plays. So Coach McDermott is doing a good job of getting that good, rush and coverage at the same time. So if they can continue that, and Leonard Floyd and those guys getting after the quarterback, Von Miller he's close. He's getting very close to getting one himself.
He got a half right last week.
Nah,
he didn't give it to him,
but they didn't give it to him. They don't want to give him one like that. They want to give him a solo. So today he might get his solo. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there's just no ifs and buts about that. They just gotta go ahead and take care of business. They just gotta be aggressive. Treat Easton Stick like Dak Prescott. Send some pressure at him. We know that they're gonna use Eckler. Eckler's gonna be heavy check downs, probably some screens with Eckler. Use their tight end, Everett. But you got Josh Reynolds. You got Josh Reynolds over there. So they just gotta apply the pressure. Make it a third and long situation. They gotta win on first and second down. Make it a third and long situation. And if the Bills could do that, then they're controlling the game. From a defensive perspective. So that's all they gotta do on the defense end.
Yeah, the Bills definitely should win this game. They should dominate this game thoroughly. They've put themselves in a magnificent position, right? Of course, you dug yourself into a hole, so what's done is done. You can't change the past, all right? So that's over with, right? But you seized the opportunity. You should have won the Philly game. Now, if you would have won the Philly game, you'd be even better position right now. Did it. That's fine, right? You go out there and you beat the defending Super Bowl champions in their house. You go to Allenhead and you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. You come back home and you demolish the Super Bowl favorite with the MVP favorite and absolutely just crushes hopes and dreams of being the most valuable player this season, right? And now you're giving 2 cupcakes. Here you go, right? The bakery delivered these to you fresh. 2 cupcakes en route to a possible division title, which didn't even seem possible 3 weeks ago, right? And then not only that, but you have to, chances are, you're going to have to go onto the road at least at least 2 of your 3 games before the Super Bowl, right? You have to go on the road for at least 2 of them. So you getting, like I said, this is like if Alabama gets Appalachian State and Army in like right before the playoffs, right? You know what I mean? So, and of course you got Georgia in the last game of the season. I don't even know if I would consider them Georgia. They like Notre Dame, right? Miami is more like Notre Dame. Like, all right, I guess they good. Okay, right? So you put in a great position because then you win these 3 games. And if Miami, which we all expect them, they got 3 games versus winning teams. They haven't beat a winning team in over a calendar year. They're not winning all 3 of these games. I don't think they're going to win 2 of the games. So you get to host a playoff game, right? And then let's say you blow out the Chargers, you blow out the Patriots, and then you put a nice little thumping, a nice little pat on the back for Miami on the way to the playoffs, right? Then let's say you might have to play a Miami, or you might have to play a Cleveland or a Cincinnati or an Indianapolis at home in the first round. That's another lashing. Now we go into Kansas City, where we already established that this is Allenhead, right? At least in the regular season so far, right? Then you got a Cleveland.
Hold on, don't give Kansas City that much credit, man. They can get knocked off in the playoffs now.
That's facts. You're not wrong.
Kansas City too much credit, like where the Bills got to go there. No, they take care of business. Football takes care of itself. All right, my good friend tells me that all the time. Football takes care of itself. So long as the Bills just keep winning, then the ultimate goal will definitely get reached. And then the Bills win 3 out. You got to get Coach McDermott his flowers. He should be in talks of being Coach of the Year too. I feel that he got snubbed the year that they gave it to Kevin Stefanski. So
Absolutely.
he's not. He probably is not going to have more wins than some coaches out there. But I think that the way he persevered, the way he's dealt with injuries and a lot of things, possibly going fire and his team rallying and potentially being winning the division and being a second seed after that, that definitely warrants some Coach of the Year attention.
Oh, for
So
sure.
I definitely got to get that man his flowers. If if once they pull it off, you got to get Coach McDermott his flowers. He deserved Coach of the Year. I know Dan Campbell's doing a good job out there in Detroit, but I mean, when are you going to give it to the guy? He's been consistent just about every year. He's made the playoff. He's on Tomlin status right now. So just about. So when y'all going to say that this man deserves Coach of the Year? Way this team is playing, with a coaching change, with half your defense out for the season. So, yeah.
No, you're definitely not wrong, especially when you consider how a lot of these teams are finishing their season out. Detroit didn't look the best, these last couple of weeks. Stefanski, I feel like he has a shot at it, but I mean,
but why he got a shot at it?
Because he's had 4 different quarterbacks and he's won with all of them. That's legitimate. He's got 9 wins right now. That's legit. I'm not saying that it should be more substantial than what Sean McDermott is or will have done, but it's a legit reasoning to be in the conversation.
Stefanski is an offensive-minded guy. Mm-hmm. They're winning these games because of Jim Schwartz.
Defense. Oh, my boy. Oh, Jim Schwartz is so good, man.
So it ain't Stefanski. If Stefanski was just they had these game-winning miraculous plays or whatever, and Flacco had game-winning drives, and DTI had game-winning drives, or whatever quarterback they had. Yeah, I say Stefanski, but we all know why Cleveland is where they are. It's because of Jim Schwartz and that defense.
That's a good point.
If Jim Schwartz wasn't a defensive coordinator, they wouldn't even be in this position right now.
They wouldn't be in the playoff race.
Right, they wouldn't be even in the playoff race. So that's where that lies with that. Over Coach McDermott, I'm just trying to figure that out. How?
Maybe Shanahan.
Well, they got one game against the 49ers they won. What that mean? Other than that, what's the quality win? What are the quality win that Cleveland?
No. I was talking about Shanahan for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, you can go that route too. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. I just feel that Coach McDermott got snubbed years ago. Yeah,
he did.
Especially if they run the table here. They run the table here and put together what 5-game winning streak to close out when your back is against the wall. Not only do you make it to the playoffs, you win the division, and you're 2 seats. So that's saying you are one of the top teams in the NFL. So that definitely should warrant, that's right there with Shanahan. Shanahan may finish 1 seed on the other side of things, but McDermott can finish 2 on his side. So that's all in contention. That's all in contention. And I think that, the Bills had a lot of more. First of all, the schedule. The Bills had a tougher schedule overall in the NFL, all 17 weeks. So you got to look at that too. You know what I mean? You definitely got to look at that. So that's why I say, you gotta get that man as far as when they pull it off. I ain't no if, when they pull it off.
No, you're right. I didn't think about that the Stefanski thing. That was a great point because Schwartz has really been the heart and soul of that entire team. And the Bills, I mean, listen, it's wishful thinking, but the Bills are not out of the woods as far as the 1 seed goes yet. If the Ravens lose out, if the Dolphins lose to the Cowboys, and then if the Chiefs lose another game, Buffalo Bills are your 1 seed. Yeah. I mean, of course, what's the chances the Ravens lose out? But, hey, crazier things have happened. All right, Coach. Let's get some score predictions here, and so we can go ahead and enjoy some football.
Well, it's going to be a holiday. It's going to be a great holiday for everybody. And Bills go out, take care of business. Just pick up where they left off, against from the Cowboys. James Cook, you get the running, so you can get a general idea on how this Chargers team is trying to play. If they're still trying to play you with the same base with Staley, then you know how to adjust to that. If they're doing something a little bit more different, then you should be able how to adjust to that. But the common denominator of it is run the ball to find out where you could take advantage of the coverages and those certain formations that you're having success running the football in. So set up your run action, and the Bills should be heavy on run action today. Josh Allen should be dialing it up off run action today, based upon how much attention James Cook is going to be getting today. So I want to see how creative again is Brady on, getting James Cook, to find running lanes. How creative will he be? Will he give James Cook a toss sweep? Will he give James Cook a stand-up screen on the outside when they go empty? How is he going to move James Cook around now to make plays? And then, incorporate Stephon Diggs. It's time to incorporate your top guy now in the passing game with this run. So, good marriage today. Bills 33, Chargers 13.
Yeah. All right. 33-13. I'm gonna say excuse me. I think we get a heavy dose of some run today. I think it's in your best interest to have a Deion Dawkins, who was an angry run winner, because he pushed a grown man 30 yards down the field and put him flat on his back, right? You want to have a McGovern, a Morse, Torrance. You want to have a Spencer Brown. You want to have those guys in aggression mode as much as possible for the playoffs. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to bully around a inferior, competition, right? And to kind of get that mean streak, right? Because who you going to see in playoffs? You're going to see the Ravens. Them boys ain't nice. Them boys is not nice. They want to murder you, okay? You're going to see the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Them boys want to kill you. Them boys is aggressive. They're not playing no games, right? And so you want to have that same mindset, because you know who going to have that mindset on the other side of the ball? Ed Oliver going to have that mindset. Gregory Rousseau going to have that mindset. AJ Epinesa going to have that mindset. By the time he gets to the Super Bowl, Daquan Jones is going to come back and be having that mindset. So you don't really have to worry about it on inside of the trenches on the defensive side of the ball so much. Offensive side of the ball, they've been playing really well all year in terms of pass blocking, and then you got Josh, who's the most elusive quarterback in the NFL, right? For breaking tackles, at least, right? In terms of just throwing people off of them or deking out the defensive back who's rushing in. The offensive line has looked good pass blocking. Now they're looking amazing run blocking as well. So if you can have that mixture going into the playoffs where your offensive line is like, I'm good either way, coach. Let's go get him. You know what I'm saying? If Josh needs to throw for 400, then we could do that. If James needs to run for 150, we could do that. You know what I mean? So I think this is a good opportunity to continue that mindset and to get them more ready for what's going to be a long run, because they've been in the playoffs for 2 weeks now already, and they've been playing really well. So I'm going to say the Buffalo Bills 24, and then I'll say Chargers. I'll say like 19, only because every time I say the Bills blow somebody out, it ended up being like either a close game or we lose. And then last week I gave a close score and we blew up the Cowboys, and I'm superstitious. So
Yeah, I said it was going to be 24-23 last week. This week, nah. Not what I saw last week. Not what I saw last week. I bet not. Now it's time to really expose, run action at its best today, and jump out on them. Pick up where you left off. Jump out on them, punch them in the mouth. Just cure the curiosity of, hey, maybe this guy is our guy. He calls better plays and stay. All that I don't want to. No trap game. No trap game business today. Go out there and stand on business and get the job done. Blow them out. Treat them how they're supposed to be treated, who they are, without a starting quarterback, without a starting wide receiver, without Joey Bosa out there on the other side. So treat them how they're supposed to be treated at this point. That's why I say Bills win big. Make a statement and let them know that this is not playing down to our level of competition. And yeah, we our confidence is sky high right now. Going home to New England, who we owe anyway. So
yeah. And the Bills have not earn the opportunity to be afforded a trap game. Every game means everything at this point. Tuning in, like, comment, subscription. We appreciate it all. So make sure you go ahead and follow us on Twitter, Buffalo Fanbase, J17 MVP, Woofo Sports. Appreciate y'all, man. Coach, go ahead and send us out.
Bills go to LA and get the blowout. Do you believe? Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Now, find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all sports information, from live in-game betting props and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Now, use our promo code BLEAV50 to receive your 50%. Welcome your bonus on your first deposit. Now, Bet Online is where the game starts.